In these next few questions, we're going to look at how many times you would expect an outcome to happen if an event was repeated multiple times. Here we're asked, how many times would you expect to get a 5 when a dice is rolled A 6 times and B 30 times? Well, we already know that the probability of getting a 5 is 1 in 6. So if the dice is rolled 6 times, we simply multiply that by 6. Or you can multiply by 6 over 1. And we know with our fractions it's top times top and bottom times bottom. Gives us 6 over 6, which is 1. So you would expect to get a 5 once if you rolled the dice 6 times. And what if we rolled it 30 times? Well, again, we take our original probability of 1/6. But this time we multiply it by 30, or 30 over 1. 1 times 30 is 30. 6 times 1 is 6. And of course we always try to simplify our fraction. 30 divided by 6 equals 5. So if the dice was rolled 30 times, you could expect to get a 5 of those times. Here's another question. How many times would you expect to get a tail when a coin is tossed 50 times? Well, the chances of getting a tail is 50-50 or a 1 in 2 chance. So we simply multiply that by 50, and 50 times a half is 25 times. So you would expect to get 25 tails if a coin was tossed 50 times. And finally, how many times would you expect to select a green counter if 1 was randomly selected and returned A 10 times, B 40 times? Well, there are 2 green counters out of 10 counters altogether, which is a 1 in 5 probability of choosing a green. And then if we did this 10 times, we simply multiply by 10, which gives us 10 over 5, which simplifies down to 2. So if the experiment was done 10 times, you could expect to get the green twice. And if the experiment was done 40 times, well, again, our probability of getting a green was 1 in 5. So this time we simply multiply it by 40. Multiplying the top by the top gives us 40 on the top and 5 on the bottom. 40 divided by 5 is 8. So if the experiment was done 40 times, you could expect to choose the green 8 times.